Welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Ergo, how are you feeling?
Great.
How topical. I'm glad that you're feeling as great as this game is going to be, because that's part of the title. When we last left off on Great Ace Attorney 1, the first part of the Chronicles.
Which I think is called Adventures.
Oh, yeah.
And then this one is called Resolve.
Oh, I always forget. Oh my gosh. Striker. Striker just redeemed sing mode. Oh my god.
So
okay.
How does that work again? We have to sing for a minute?
Yes, we do. Oh, baby, let's go. Because how long? For 5 minutes.
Oh, no.
Set that timer. Hang on. Let's get a timer going. Okay.
It only applies to you, right?
Nope. All guests. All guests. All right. The timer starts now. In the last game, we did a lot of stuff. Saw a lot of people go. There were the two great brothers whose names I already forgot. But they were my favorite part of the last trial. And we had to say goodbye to, oh my god, Susato-san. And it was really sad. And I remember you and I didn't think that she would go. But then I remembered that Maya left in the first game of the original trilogy. So, yeah, it makes sense. Wouldn't you agree?
Yes.
I feel like I should be singing closer to the melody that's playing right now. It'd be like, yeah, let's go and do this stuff. I don't know. Please, let's start.
Oh. Wait. Was there still more?
After the 4 names it reads, if I translate from Japanese, that is all 4. And that's the end of the message. Or rather, the end of what you noted down, Iris. She said, I just can't believe it. Who would ever have thought that those discs contained Japanese Morse code? Not to mention a strange list of some disturbingly familiar names.
Oh boy. How do I... It would appear that this particular message is a communication of some kind between Great Britain and Japan, I think.
So Daddy could be in Japan then. Ooh, Iris still doesn't know that her daddy is 6 feet under. Ooh. Where Susie and Bruno come from? Oh, well, that's right. She doesn't know. No, it's not very likely likely really, is it? I mean, there are thousands of people with the surname Wilson, and there must be lots of G's amongst them. Professor John H. Wilson, visiting professor of medicine at the Imperial Yume University. But we can't tell Iris about that now. We just can't. But Bruno, I ask you, when will be a good time? You've been saying that this whole game.
What if it is just a coincidence?
Holy shit, what if he had a twin, but they're not related?
Just another John Wilson.
It's just like that guy where you see him across the room and you're like, that looks like my dad, but it's not your dad. And yes, nerd, I thought the same thing, especially when Ergo was singing. It sounded like Les Mis.
Wow.
This is so strange. Somehow, in solving the case of Mr. Windy Banks' murder today.
And I am Sholmes. Sorry, I just think of the YouTube poop. Prisoner 15656565611561. Make me a sandwich.
Oh, I'm gonna go and clip that later. I feel like I've rolled back a boulder at the mouth of a very dark cave. I do wonder if perhaps it's a dark cave that we shouldn't go wandering inside.
That's the end.
We're free! Sorry, everyone. Les Mis Part 2 Electric Boogaloo in Japan ends now. But nerd, I do agree. Ergo definitely is serving Russell Crowe realness right now.
Great. That's especially great when isn't he like notably like the worst part of that or whatever?
Because he just does this. He just yells. He doesn't sing.
Or wait, am I also thinking of the Phantom movie?
You might be, yeah.
Because is that also Russell Crowe?
I don't know.
No, wait, that's some other guy,
I don't know.
right? I don't know.
Deep as hell.
Yeah, that guy where everybody was like, "Man, he sucks."
Now I just got 1,000 to go for hang on, I can't read it over the box. The what Boogaloo?
The
next Boogaloo. Yes.
Wait, God, is it only 1,000 for the? We need to make it more expensive. Oh, no, it's 3,000.
Woohoo!
It's 3,000. That's okay.
Nerd says Gerard Davis.
Gerard Butler? Wait.
Oh. I mean, hey.
He's the guy in 300.
I haven't watched that movie. I've just seen Lindsay Ellis's video
I know.
about the movie.
Me too.
Sorry, I was drinking a sparkling ice.
Yeah.
If you can guess which flavor, I'll give you channel points.
I'll be the boat voice. Honk.
I'm glad. Thank you, Ergo. Oh, and it was Butler.
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
He's the only Gerard I know.
Oh, see, Nerd says he did a good job,
okay.
actually. See? Shows how much you know, and Lindsay Ellis.
According to, like, critics or whatever, I guess they didn't...
Yeah, I'm sure he didn't do as bad, you know? Like, there's the meme potential, of course, you know, in that one line where he goes, you know, deep as hell! Yeah. But, yeah, you could say that with many things, actually, so...
The ship.
Oh, okay, yeah, I should probably say words now. Oh dear, the ship is going to set sail soon.
The Naruhodo and Susato ship. It's leaving.
I mean, the one true ship is, of course, him and Kazuma. But you know what? I wouldn't be upset. I wouldn't be upset. Susato's great. And Ryunosuke and her have some chemistry, so I wouldn't be opposed. I see them as besties, but I could see it. I could see it. Yes, it seems so. I'll sail on that steamship first to the port of Dunkirk in France. Then I'll change onto a larger passenger vessel bound for Japan.
You're really going then, Susie? Just like Maya.
We wish you a safe passage, Miss Susato.
Thank you so much. I wish all of you the very best. Miss Susato, I had hoped to have you always at my side, to guide me and support me. That's where all the shippers go. I see that. I see that line.
Yeah,
there you go,
she's
shippers.
Like, what, are you, like, proposing?
Mr. Naruhodo, how inappropriate! Please come back soon. As far as I'm concerned, you really are the very best judicial assistant in the world. I'm quite sure I'll be back before you know it.
Really, Susie?
It is the 1800s. The boats aren't very fast in this time.
Oh, now don't forget, Iris. I made you a promise I've yet to fulfill.
A promise?
About your manuscript.
Ah.
Oh yes, the Hound of the Baskervilles.
Well, I'll be waiting for you then, Susie. A promise is a promise.
Definitely, Iris. Mr. Naruhodo. Yes? Do you remember the first time we met?
No.
Maybe you don't. It's been a long time. Like, what, 3 years at this point?
I don't know.
Yes, of course. How could I forget? I'm not Ergo, after all. On the SS Buria, when I was dragged out from that wardrobe, still half asleep. If I remember rightly, you threw me halfway across the cabin with the Susato takedown.
You know very well that I'm talking about after that.
It's strange, but being thrown together as we were in that case...
Well, mostly you were the one being thrown.
I somehow felt straight away that you were the perfect person to continue Kazuma-sama's great legacy. Miss Susato. And my instincts were right. I really want to believe. No, I'm sure that... I'll be back soon. Farewell, until then.
Bye, Susato-san. Again, we said goodbye the last time when we finished the game. Oh, but now we get an anime cutscene.
Somehow we seem to have come to the end of the adventures of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Or the first volume, at least. Looking back now, it feels as though fate has led me on this journey. Fate led me to becoming a lawyer, to traveling halfway around the world, to meeting the great detective. I'm sure there'll be trials and tribulations ahead. Of course there will. But whatever happens, I know I'll be able to turn my fortunes around. After all, I have the greatest friends in the world on my side.
You know, every time I see one of those cutscenes and Naruhodo speaks, Ryunosuke, not Naruhodo, Ryunosuke, but anyway, Ryunosuke speaks, I'm like, man, I do not give him like a British voice at all. Because he's got like a slight, like he talks like this a little bit. And it's just kind of like, I never give him that.
I think all the voice actors are British. I actually think that this was maybe done through like the same company that does like the Layton games.
Oh, really?
Maybe the voices in those.
Here, we're an educational stream, Ergo. You can't just spout that uncritically. Go look that up.
No, we don't have to. It's not that important.
Take it with a grain of salt, but maybe.
Yes, Mr. Naruhodo.
Yes, Mr. Sholmes.
I have some rather awkward news.
Oh, perfect timing. I was just taking a sip anyway. Thank you, Nostromo. And hello, by the way.
I'm pregnant.
What?
That's the awkward news.
Oh, I'm Gregnant. That means
railway
great pregnant. Anyway, what?
Company has decided to sue over the special express train, apparently.
Huh?
It caused such a commotion on the line. All the other trains had to wait at the stations.
I vaguely remember this from the end of the game last time.
But really, we would never have made it to Dover in time otherwise. Anyway, I explained everything, and how it was all your fault.
Huh?
I believe a formal complaint should be delivered to your office tomorrow. This is our first case, is trying to get out of this lawsuit or whatever.
I wonder, we'll see.
But not to worry, my dear fellow. According to Miss Susato...
You love defending yourself in court.
Huh?
It's all right. I'm perfectly happy to testify. He really didn't look like the sort of man who'd do something so outrageous. See?
Who are you testifying for or against?
Right? Mr. Sholmes.
Yes?
A word, if you don't mind.
No. Why, certainly. Any word you like. Bellow it out, my dear fellow.
Oh yes, I love Runo's words, and I know just the one he'll use here.
Fuck.
I was thinking the same thing. Then, I really must say... Yep, that was the last...
That was the end of it. Yeah.
First game.
Oh, now we're in court.
Wait. These are the credits.
Oh.
Sweetheart, did you choose the wrong option?
I hit continue. Well, I guess we got a little recap of the ending.
So there's at least that. Okay. Huh.
I'm gonna skip this.
Yes.
We saw this.
Okay. This reminds me of when I would start a new game in the Ace Attorney trilogy.
Yeah.
It would start from where I left off, which was the end. So I had to do a new thing or something like that. It was...
This is the credits again.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess it didn't save. Oh well. You got a recap.
There's at least that.
With the singing version.
That's right. We got to sing that one. How special. It was more meaningful.
I thought we were I thought maybe just the beginning of the second. Why did you just bring us back?
Select adventure.
I guess. Okay. Fine. I thought it would just continue from where we left off.
New game. Yep. No, sweetie. No. Watch we get another recap.
Oh, God.
We got a cutscene.
Cool cloud.
Yeah, I like that tree.
Some Bob Ross clouds.
Hell yeah. Happy tree. Oh.
Oh, wait. This is in game.
Oh, no.
Standing here in the bright sunshine, looking out over the vast ocean. Those days in London seem like a dream. But I do miss my time in England's vast capital. You know, he's flourished into a truly wonderful lawyer. I've no doubt that at this very moment, he's fighting some noble cause in court. Forgive me for taking so long to come to visit you. My life has been such a whirlwind since I returned. And no one could have predicted what has happened. Just 2 months after arriving home.
Huh? That wasn't voiced. She found herself in an awful crime. Oh, that bitch! From the first game!
Oh.
So I came here today to ask something of you. Tomorrow, I shall be standing in court. For the only time in my life. as a lawyer.
Hell yeah, Susato is a lawyer. Let's go. Oh.
So please,
Oh.
I ask for your guidance.
Oh. She dead.
Kazuma-sama,
Swan Hat Lady's dead.
Oh, she's at Kazuma's grave. You weren't looking.
Wait, what? She said.
Or, I don't know
Oh.
if she voiced it.
Yeah, I wasn't looking. But the lady who was dead in the...
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah, oh, okay, okay. The Blossoming Attorney. Hell yeah. We're getting right on into it. That's a lot of da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-das. Here I am again, after 9 months. The Supreme Court of Judicature of Japan. I can't read. I feel so nervous. But I must steel my nerves and find a way to compose myself. You could be Mikotoba.
Ah, good, you're here. It doesn't do for a lawyer to be late.
Oh, yes, good morning, sir.
I hardly recognize you. You cut a fine figure, Counsel. But you look as white as a sheet, and those wide eyes aren't doing you any favors either.
Oh, dear. The truth is, I'm so incredibly nervous, I feel utterly nauseated. I almost wish that I'd never been born.
Goodness, not the sort of thing a father hopes to hear from his daughter, I must say.
Yujin Mikotoba, professor of medicine at the Imperial Yume University. A man who, earlier in his life, traveled to Great Britain to study the latest advances in forensic medical science. And of course, my brilliant father.
Excuse me. Oh.
Give her the voice! Commit to the bit! Commit to the bit! That's their voice! Give it to them!
Doesn't fit at
Yes, it
all.
does! Do it! Make it fit!
Would, would I be correct in thinking that you're to be my lawyer in court today?
Yes. That's right, miss.
I can't. Well, I want to thank you for agreeing to represent me.
I love it.
I swear on my life. It's a complete fabrication, this whole thing.
Rei Membami, born the same year as I, and my greatest friend. She has quite the unique voice. I've always loved that about her. Though unusual for a woman in our time, she works at the University Research Laboratory, helping my father.
Trying to research how to unclog her nose.
And sadly, she's the defendant in today's trial. Accused of committing a truly awful murder. Are you feeling all right?
You sound like you have a cold or something.
Since we started talking, you seem, well, to have become a little flushed.
Oh my, it's just that you look so gallant and dashing.
Is this Yuri I see? And, sorry?
And when I fall under your intense gaze, it makes me feel rather bashful.
Goodness, I don't think she knows. She hasn't realized who I am.
We're doing some, what's a Orion Host Club? Or whatever, something like that. It would seem our little plan for this trial is going to work. Oh, what do you mean, Professor Mikotoba? If even your best friend can't see through the disguise, I think we can relax.
Aw, you mean it's not Yuri?
disguise.
Was she dressed as Ryunosuke or some shit?
I think so.
Yes.
Well, I think she's dressed as a guy.
I've never tried dressing this way before, of course, so I wasn't sure how convincing it would be. But this does make me feel a little relieved, as you say, Father.
Father. What? Is that you, Susato?
I'm so sorry I didn't say something sooner, Ray.
No, what are you doing? What's going on? What? That varsity uniform, the varsity cap, the varsity cape, the varsity badge.
The varsity roller skates, the varsity headband.
Look at you. You look for all the world just like a student at the Imperial Yume University, a male student.
I'm so glad you think so. It means all my preparations have been worthwhile. I woke at 4 this morning to make a start.
But I don't understand. Why are you dressed like that?
Well, you see...
It was the only way. The only way she would be permitted into the Supreme Court to take on your defense in this trial.
It's because of sexism.
But also, like, she doesn't have, like, I mean, I guess, do you need to be, certified or whatever to be a lawyer? I guess Ryunosuke didn't.
Well,
I guess anybody could just be a lawyer.
I mean...
My defense? Sorry.
If it helps, remember in the original trilogy, all they did was swap badges, and all of a sudden Edgeworth is rolling around as a defense attorney. So I'm just saying,
I mean, yeah, I guess technically you don't have to be a lawyer, right? Like, or you don't have to be certified, because you can technically defend yourself in court.
I guess, yeah.
So anybody can just be a lawyer.
You can be a lawyer, dear listener. You can be a lawyer. Never before in my life have I felt so frustrated.
You're still Susato.
God damn it. Never before in my life have I felt so frustrated at having been born into this body.
Wow, Susato trans?
Courts in Japan are barred to women. We're not even allowed to set foot inside the courtroom. That's shit. Despite the fact that the laws of the land apply to all people, male and female, alike.
But women are forbidden.
Just for today, I'll be leaving my true self at the courtroom door, so that I can act as your lawyer.
Oh, Susato, you'd go to such lengths for me?
Do you think the, guards hear this?
Yeah, right, we're just talking in front of these guards.
You're breaking the law to defend me?
It's fine. I feel like in Ace Attorney, nobody can overhear anybody else's conversations.
It's true.
Everybody has, a little bubble around them that sound can't escape. Oh.
Of course, you're my greatest friend. I just worry that I shan't be the lawyer you deserve.
Oh no, I have complete faith in you.
Ray.
Skywalker.
Don't you dare.
Sorry, I mean Palpatine.
Oh, yeah.
Ray Palpatine.
Get it right, yeah.
It's so strange, though. I mean, you're such an accomplished judicial assistant already. And yet, just because you're a woman, what a wretched reason. It's like it's the 1800s or something. I mean, why shouldn't you be allowed in court? You're so gallant and dashing.
Oh, we're back to Yuri.
Yeah.
Ray. Please don't look at me like that, with those flushed cheeks and dotting eyes. You're making me feel things I never thought I would feel.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's just you really do look so dashing.
Yes, you mentioned that once or twice.
Ha ha ha. You should be pleased. It means you look convincing as a man.
That either way or your friend is really gay. I support this marriage. I'm pleased, I think. It's certainly helped to bolster my confidence today. Ray, you're managing to put on a brave face in all this, but I can see through it. That's a brave face to you? I've noticed how your shoulders are slumped and how you're trembling ever so slightly.
Susato, you do believe me, don't you? I didn't do it. I couldn't have. I mean, murder.
Of course. You have nothing to worry about. Your conscience is perfectly clean. Isn't that right?
Yes, it is. Perfectly clean.
I have absolutely no doubt in my mind about your innocence. Which is why I'll stand by you until the bitter end in this trial. Whatever happens, I'll always be on your side. Because that's what it means to be a defense lawyer. I will laugh so hard if she either looks like Ryunosuke, like it's just Ryunosuke's model, or if they do some weird thing to make her look kind of like Phoenix. I will laugh either way.
Oh, that means so much to me, Susato.
Defendant, counsel! I'll give you a little bit of a break.
They just sound like the judge.
Court is about to begin. Proceed to the courtroom at once.
What was that?
I don't know. There's two of them. I thought one of them should have a fun voice.
You should go in at once, Ray. If you're late, the judge won't hesitate to pronounce you guilty of being late. Oh, stand aside!
I don't think I've ever seen her run so fast.
Well, Susato, you've certainly surprised your father. Going to such lengths to be admitted into the courtroom, and with no prior experience of being a lawyer.
There was simply no other way. That's all there is to it. But, Father, you haven't told her, have you? I mean, I'm right in assuming that Ray doesn't know how it came to this.
Yes, quite right. I've kept that information from her. I'm guessing, like there was nobody who wanted to represent her or whatever.
I guess, maybe.
It would only worry her if she found out that no other lawyer would agree to take her case.
Just like Ergo already guessed.
That's basically every case in Ace Attorney.
Yep, no one ever wants to take them.
I didn't want to burden her with that.
And is it true? The reason why every other lawyer is refusing to take the case? Because her voice is so weird? Is it really because of who the victim was?
Who was that? I don't remember. Was she somebody important?
I remember she was important in the last case, or in the first case.
Yeah.
It had something to do with the Wilson case. Because I think she was the one dining with him.
Yeah. Wait, wasn't she the killer? Or am I remembering that wrong?
Well, yeah, she had that thing where her, like, swan, like, went...
Yeah.
Like, it was definitely heavily implied that she had something to do with it. But I don't think she was convicted of anything.
I don't remember how that case went.
Should we, like, look that up as a refresher?
I mean, I feel like they might recap it also.
They might. Okay, we'll wait and see. But, yeah.
Because of who the victim was. We should be making a move now, too. As you know, law isn't my field, but I'll do what I can to support my student. Daughter.
Thank you, Father. See, my thing is, should I just keep using Susato's voice? Or do I try to do Susato doing a male voice? I don't know. I'm Susato.
Just do your Ryunosuke voice.
Right? If she's dressed as Ryunosuke, then I'll do that. I'm Susato Mikotoba, a judicial assistant. 8 months ago, I accompanied a student of law on a study trip to Great Britain. But 2 months ago, due to unforeseen circumstances, I found myself back in Japan. How many times have I wished that he were here, I wonder. Still, I have no choice now but to steel myself for the trial ahead. This does kind of remind me of how in the original trilogy they did things with Mia, where you were like playing as Mia, you know? So this kind of reminds me of that. Wish me luck, Naruhodo-san. All right, let's see. Is Susato in some cool Ryunosuke cosplay? Cast your votes now.
I mean, it's just a uniform, so like, yeah, she has a uniform.
Cool. I can't remember. Did I give him my normal judge voice? Like, all of my judges sound the same.
This court is now in session to hear the great trial of Rei Membami.
There's Ouchie. Oh no, he's gonna just sound like it's the same voice basically that I was doing for that girl. The prosecution is fully ready to proceed, Your Excellency. There it is.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is. Well,
Ah, she looks so cool.
Defense counsel, are you ready?
did she die? Wait, wasn't her hair brown? Am I misremembering that?
Her hair was always that color.
Okay. Yes, Your Excellency, we are ready.
Ready.
Ah, yes. Counsel, you are familiar with the power nap. I, too, take myself a power nap or two up here in this stand. According to your registration details, your name is... Ryutaru Naruhodo. Is that correct?
Wow, similar.
Sorry?
Oh yes, I had to come up with a suitable male name for you for this little venture. So I'm afraid, I'm just gonna say this in front of everybody, I'm afraid to say I simply put down the first name that sprung to mind.
Well, counsel?
Yes, that's right. That's me.
Yes, I am Ryotaro, he who has vowed to uphold the pride of the great Naruhodo clan.
It seems Ryutaro may need to consider how better to uphold his manly act first and not overdo it. And those wild, wide eyes aren't doing you any favors either. Just relax and listen. Wait, what did she say? Naruhodo? A fresh face in this courtroom, if I'm not mistaken. But the name Naruhodo, would that perchance be? You may be thinking of Ryunosuke Naruhodo, currently in Britain, as part of a study program. This is,
His cousin.
That's right. Ryutaro here has been studying in the provinces, but recalled to the capital for this trial. I assure you, in matters of law, his knowledge rivals that of any of Tokyo's preeminent lawyers.
Any of them.
What a pitiful situation. Having been rejected by every lawyer in the capital, the accused has had to call in a country boy. How dare you! Susato is every bit as gallant and dashing as any of your Tokyo attorneys.
Oops. No!
Have you making fun of her? Her? Oh,
Please be careful, Ray.
Uh-huh. What an unrefined tomboy we have here. But I wonder, is your gallant and dashing lawyer up to the challenge of defending you? His wide, skittish eyes very much suggest that he is not.
I'm so nervous. Now that I'm standing in his shoes, I'm starting to understand what Naruhodo-san goes through. Like it or not, eyes are wont to flit, okay?
The case to be heard on this day is a matter of great significance to our national interests. In fact, it would be reasonable to assume that the outcome of this trial may well affect the very future of our empire.
Just like the trial 9 months ago. And yet, for proceedings of such importance, we have this unknown yokel by the dock? Dear me.
Perhaps this would be an appropriate moment for me to assess the defense.
We will do what we call a tutorial.
Yes, to determine whether you are sufficiently competent to practice in this courtroom.
9 months ago, when a certain other Naruhodo stood where you're standing now, this same judge tested him as well.
In the art of tutorial.
And even though he was just a student at the time, not even of law, he passed the test with flying colors. What was he studying? I don't actually know.
I don't remember.
I thought he was a law student. For a trained and experienced judicial assistant like you, this will be easy. Was he also studying art, like Phoenix?
Holy shit, that'd be really funny if he was.
So, counsel, do you consent to answering some simple questions?
No.
All right, it's time to prove myself. Heh.
Yes, Your Excellency.
But please do make them simple.
Very well. To start with,
What is 1 + 1?
you will state the name of the victim.
Phew, that is simple. I couldn't forget that if I tried.
Oh, I don't remember her name. What's the matter?
Now that I'm standing in his shoes, I'm starting to understand something else Naruhodo-san goes through. Like it or not, mines are want to blank.
It's not surprising, really. It's your first time in this position, and in that guise. Even a bright spark like you is bound to flicker and falter a little under the circumstances.
Plus, for this being a tutorial, you'll need to know how to check the court record and all that shit, so we've gotta do it.
Oh dear, this is a dismal failure.
Don't fret. You need only use the knowledge you've gained as a judicial assistant to overcome the problem.
Is it the final problem, though?
No.
No? Oh, okay, not yet.
Of course, the court record. Yes. The answer will be amongst all the key information about the case in the court record.
That's right. Just use E to open the court record.
See, should Susato have her normal voice when talking to her dad? I feel like if she's talking to him...
I feel like whenever it says Ryutaro.
Yeah, I would have to use my... I'm trying to go with a very subtle, trying to speak like a boy voice, but yeah. Anyway.
Then you need to flip to the people section with E. And don't take too long over it. His Excellency is watching you closely.
All right, check the court record with E. That's where the information I need will be. I rhymed. Ha ha. Time of Jeff. Time of Jeff.
Time of Jeff, just after 2. Death is believed to be true.
I mean, due to trauma to the victim's lung from a knife blade. Only a single wound was identified.
Giselle Brett. Female British. Yep. Witness statements. Cause of death.
Single stab wound from behind, piercing a lung.
Ios's pupil constriction was observed. I'm sure that'll be relevant.
Yep.
What would that mean? That would mean that, like, she was in the dark?
I don't know. You know how, like, we were talking earlier about how some of these cases kind of mix a couple of things from various Sherlock Holmes stories?
Yeah.
Well, okay, fun fact, dear listeners and friends, we, Ergo for Christmas received, Sherlock Holmes on DVD. It's like a series from the 80s, yeah.
The one with, Jeremy Brett.
Yeah.
As Sherlock.
It's really good, by the way. I highly recommend it.
Wait.
I enjoy it a lot.
Her name is Giselle Brett. Is that a reference to the actor?
I feel like I thought it was like Jezebel. Like, but they just
But I'm just, but that's just familiar to the actor's name. So I'm like, wait a second, is that a reference?
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe.
Like a reference to maybe they're references to people who have played. Because wasn't there somebody named Basil? Because that's another actor. No, wait, I'm thinking of the Great Mouse Detective, probably.
Might be. But either way,
that's the name of another actor who played Sherlock.
Either way, though, the thing I was going to say was we recently watched one of the cases where I already forgot the name of the story, like the title for it, but it was the one where the guy like died of his own guilt, essentially. Like he died of fear. Yeah. Now, granted, she was stabbed in the lung, and so a little more than that. But I do kind of wonder if the the pupil thing, if that has any relation to her
like she was
being guilty. Because we remember there was something sus about her from the first game. We don't remember exactly what, but. Yeah, she was found guilty. She was found guilty of the murder of visiting Professor Dr. John Wilson.
So who cares if she's... She would have been in prison or whatever anyway.
But baby, she's rich.
She got stabbed in prison. What's she gonna do?
She's rich. You know the laws are different for the rich folk.
Yeah. She was probably set free already.
Yeah. But I do wonder if that will come into play. So I'm stating it right now. I wonder if the eye thing has anything to do with her feeling guilty or some shit. I don't know. We'll see. I could be wrong. I
feel like it could be that, like, it was dark in the room.
She was trying to see.
Because your pupils get... No, it would be bright. Sorry, it would be the opposite.
Oh,
It would be really bright. When it's bright, your pupils get smaller.
Okay, wait. She's 16? How old is Susato?
I don't know.
Wait,
like
yeah,
20
go back to the court record real quick.
Susato isn't in there.
Oh. Okay.
Her dad is 43.
Okay.
So she's probably, 20-ish.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was surprised. I was like, Jesus, is Susato like 17 or something?
It's the 1800s.
Anyway. All right.
Check the court record. We
did it.
I'm waiting, counsel. What is the name of the victim in this case?
Ouchie. Jesselbrett. Yes.
The name of the victim who lost her life in this case is Miss Giselle Brett.
Giselle Brett. A name that will never be forgotten in the courtrooms of our country, I'm sure.
Correct. And being a member of our empire's judiciary, you will be well aware of the significance of that name. So, let me pose another simple question. As you know, Miss Brett was a visiting student from the Empire of Great Britain. Why then is her name indelibly associated with our own empire's judicial history?
She killed a guy. Obviously, you won't have forgotten that case from 9 months ago. But if it's proving hard to recall the finer points, everything you need is included in the court record.
Obviously, I still remember. That was the start of everything. Giselle Brett. Behind the woman student persona was the face of...
Queen Victoria.
A killer.
Yes!
9 months ago, a visiting professor of medicine at the Imperial Yume University was killed. And the culprit was... Giselle Brett.
Yes, she was a killer.
And a murderer.
She looked good in that outfit. Anyway.
At the time...
Oh wait, is that you? Or me?
Oh yeah, at the time, our country had just signed a new treaty with the Empire of Great Britain. And he didn't even get to eat that steak.
Right? No, Watson.
And it was in the midst of this delicate diplomatic situation that the incident occurred. An Englishman, Dr. John H. Wilson, was shot dead. I believe he was an associate of yours. Oh, Professor Mikoto. Who's talking? The judge? maybe?
Oh, it probably was a judge.
Whatever.
Yeah, it was
Close
the
enough.
judge.
Yes, I was in... You sounded a lot like me there, Judge. I was indebted to the man. He'd been my mentor when I went to London to study forensic medicine. Indeed, it was I who invited him here to Japan as a visiting professor at the university. Naturally, the murder of an Englishman on our soil was a matter the government wished to resolve rapidly.
Indeed it was, which is why a secret trial was conducted here at the Supreme Court. A student of the Imperial Yume University was arrested on suspicion of murder. Because he held the gun just like a stupid Edgeworth did. I mean...
Oh, he's an English student. Well, that's okay. That also explains why he just is able to speak English, I guess.
Oh, okay, we got it.
a second-tier English language student by the name of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. With the help of his best friend, in quotes, a student lawyer, the accused conducted his own defense.
I like how the judge remembers that they were best friends.
They were besties!
Weird swan head.
And exposed the despicable crime committed by Miss Giselle Brett.
Aside from her fashion crime.
And what are you talking about? That is fleek, as the kids would later come to say.
100 years in the future.
What did she do again, though?
Miss Brett eventually admitted to her crime. However, when questioned about the motive that drove her to take Dr. Wilson's life, she gave no satisfactory answer before the trial reached its conclusion.
Immediately after the trial, the British government brought its consular jurisdiction into play. We were unable to sentence Miss Brett according to our empire's laws. Oh, okay.
That's what
that makes
happened.
sense. They turned her over. It was decided that she would be removed to Shanghai, China instead. I think at this time Britain still controlled China or something.
Oh. I was just about to ask why China then, but
I think they're about to answer that.
Oh, okay.
Why Shanghai?
There's a British consular court there. Oh, okay. Maybe.
Oh, okay.
I think Britain did control Hong Kong. Anyway. British consular court.
Correct. Britain did a lot of shit. I oversaw the negotiations personally. The date of her transfer to Shanghai was finally settled upon only last week. All that remained of our empire's obligations was to see the woman safely on board a steamship.
We fucked that up.
Oopsie doopsies.
We're in a lot of trouble now. And yet, the very day before her departure, the Englishwoman was killed.
Only the day before?
Wait, if this is a secret trial, why is there an audience?
That will do. This is my secret group of secret friends.
Oh, okay.
We're all secretly friends. No one else really knows.
Yeah.
That's how this goes. I'm satisfied that the counsel for the defense is sufficiently capable of representing the defendant.
You are capable of reading.
Yes.
Which is a lot at this time period.
Oh. Thank you, Your Excellency.
Over the first hurdle.
Now, a summary of the incident, if you please. Prosecutor Ouchie.
As is your wish, Your Excellency. The repugnant crime took place on the 11th of August in broad daylight.
That's almost your birthday, Ergo. It's just the wrong A.
Sure.
If it was April 11th.
On the outskirts of the imperial capital, under a bright blue sky at a secluded bathing spot by the sea.
Ooh. Crab!
The incident occurred inside a small beach hut. She was killed by a crab, erected for bathers to rest or change their clothes. While she was wearing the hat at the beach.
Yep.
The cause of death... Wait, did the bird get killed too?
I mean...
Is the bird dead?
Is
the bird playing dead?
I don't know.
I feel like we're gonna have to interrogate the bird. The bird is a witness.
Please.
The bird is a witness if it's not dead.
That would be just as great as the parrot.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
The cause of death was a single stab wound to the posterior abdomen that pierced the victim's lung. An injury which proved fatal. Oh, she has a pen too. I bet she wrote something.
Yep.
There were 2 persons alone together in the beach hut at the time of the victim's death. Miss Brett, in her bathing attire, well, it didn't look like it.
Right?
The accused, Ray Membami. Accordingly, there could be no doubt of the accused's guilt, especially when we consider she had a powerful motive. She hated her hat. The police arrived rapidly at the scene and promptly arrested the young lady.
Has anyone suspected the crab? I mean, well, that
Where's the bird?
extraordinary description.
The bird was tired of being a hat.
Hell yeah. It wanted freedom. It said, fuck her. It colluded with the crabs.
That extraordinary description of events leaves me somewhat lost for words, I must say.
That's certainly true. The prosecution's summary was full of words that raise an awful lot of questions. Like, why the fuck was that dress bathing attire?
Yeah.
As a lawyer, I really ought to pick up the prosecution's counsel on what he said about
Probably the
bathing spot.
motive.
Powerful motive.
Because he
being
didn't
alone
say
together.
what it was.
Yeah, powerful
Yeah.
motive.
You're clearly exaggerating. Powerful motive is a blatant overstatement.
As far as we know, there wasn't any motive. Is the yokel boy using long words he doesn't fully understand?
I beg your pardon?
No matter. Let us put this to the accused, shall we? Membami-san, you are a research assistant at the Imperial Yume University, I believe. What does she sound like?
Nasally.
I mean, that's also ouchy.
You were doing
Yes.
a thing like this.
Yes, I am. I'm working with Professor Mikatoba in his laboratory at the moment. I think the key with her voice is I just make her sound pathetic.
Yeah.
I can confirm that.
She is pathetic.
The defendant is an excellent assistant with a strong sense of responsibility. Fascinating to hear. Now another question. Prior to your work with Professor Mikatoba, whose research were you assisting then? I was studying under Dr. John H. Wilson.
Dr. Wilson. The visiting English professor who was murdered by Miss Brett 9 months ago? How sussy.
The accused had a deep-seated respect for her former mentor, Dr. Wilson. Is that not true? Yes, Dr. Wilson was a wonderful man. Interesting. Then tell the court what deep-seated feelings you had towards the English woman who killed him. Well, obviously I was filled with hatred for what she'd done. A powerful hatred. No, don't say that.
Ray, shut up!
Oh no, Ray! Be careful of what you're saying!
The motive was revenge. Plain and simple, Your Excellency.
Doesn't my cool armor make me look like Vegeta from Dragon Ball Z? Come at me, Frieza!
Well, it kind of looks like it, I guess. It was clearly a trap all along.
How wicked of him to use Ray's undying respect for her former mentor against her like that.
I must find out more details, and something we can use to bolster our defense. As a lawyer, I really ought to pick up the prosecution counsel on what he said about
Okay, I guess we're just gonna ask about, like...
All of them, yeah. If I may, Prosecutor Ouchie?
What do you want, you fresh-faced young yokel student?
I wonder, could you explain, please? You mentioned a bathing spot.
Ha! My apologies. Clearly my modernity has confused the poor country bumpkin's simple mind. Bathing spots are the very latest trend in health practices from the West. We are told that bathing in the water of the ocean is curative, therapeutic, and excellent for the skin.
No, that's not what I meant.
I know what bathing is. I know what swimming is.
I was referring to the fact that Miss Brett had, to all intents and purposes, been found guilty of murder.
Yeah, why wasn't she in prison?
Why would a known criminal have been relaxing by the sea?
For old time's sake, I believe.
Sorry?
Miss Brett was to depart for Shanghai the following day. Her final wish, as it were, was to enjoy a day at our country's wonderful coast. And the British Embassy put extreme pressure on our government to comply.
They were like, we don't care if she murdered a man.
Yeah.
Let the women go to the beach.
With, like, no guard.
Right? But on what grounds would we agree to such a request?
Because, as usual, our government is unable to stand up to foreign powers. In matters of diplomacy, it seems we don't even have the courage to decline the whims of a known criminal. Don't look at me, Professor. It was the government who granted permission, not I.
Me and my cool, pointy armor had nothing to do with it.
In any case, it was decided that with a dedicated detective on duty, nothing could go wrong. Okay, there was a detective.
Oh, there was, okay.
Gumshoe.
Oh god, please, Gumshoe Ancestor, please, please,
Japanese
please. Gumshoe is, well, see here I was about to go, Gumshoe is Japanese, and then I went,
I mean,
well, he's
not in the
Japanifornia, as everyone is in that game.
Yeah.
Everyone's Schrodinger's Japanese or Californian.
But in fact, a murder took place.
I said, don't look at me. It was the young student girl who did it, not I.
No one has proved that yet.
I wouldn't provoke the man if you don't need to.
At this stage, I need to do something. As a
Let's
lawyer.
go on the third thing, being alone.
Membomni-san.
Yes, what is it, Susato? Naruhodo-san?
I'm really starting to wish we'd made my alias Ryotaro Susato. Please tell the court why exactly you were present at the bathing spot with the victim in the first place. And why you were alone with her.
Oh, well, no, that's not true. It wasn't like that at all. There were other people present. A detective who was guarding Miss Brett, for starters. I was just asked to accompany Miss Brett as a companion, that's all. But... it's hard to go between them. But let us be clear. At the moment of her death, you were alone together with the victim in the hut. You and no one else. The truth is, there is only one reason why this young woman accompanied Miss Brett on her bathing sojourn. It was the accused's last chance to take the victim's life. No.
I had plenty of other chances.
Because as we know, the following day would see Miss Brett extradited to the British authorities in Shanghai. And the accused would never have an opportunity to dispatch her again.
Kindly refrain from conjecture, counsel.
Haha.
I believe we all have a clear picture of the incident now. There was a blue sky. Anyway.
Despite her guilt being determined 9 months ago, Miss Brett managed to avoid incarceration, instead continuing her research work at the university. Obviously, over that period, she and Ray would have encountered each other on a number of occasions.
Seeing the murderer of the mentor for whom she had such great respect enjoying such undeserved liberty.
Yes, even if it was only temporary, until Miss Brett's extradition to Shanghai. You can hardly blame Ray for her feelings of anger and resentment.
Poor Ray.
So, Your Excellency, if you'd be so kind as to peruse this exhibit. A photographic print that shows the scene of the crime, immediately following the grim incident.
Yes, thank you, Counsel. A tragic image. This will be in my nightmares for the rest of my life.
As you can clearly see, there is nowhere within the hut that anyone else could have hidden.
Well, maybe in that big-ass dress.
Ooh, in the dress? Just around this corner here?
Oh, yeah, right there. Yeah, there's some dead space. Nobody can see there.
They were just standing there and nobody looked.
The court will accept this photographic print as evidence.
The photograph of the crime scene has been entered in the court record.
Here, let's look at that in a second. I want to see it.
The scene taken by police decided to stab him in the back.
As I understand it then, the victim and the defendant were alone inside the beach hut at the time.
And Susato's like, yeah, hold on, let me look at this.
Yeah, let's examine everything. Touchy.
Pen in her hand. There's feathers. Yeah, what's up with... Is the bird dead?
I don't know.
Who's dead?
Was the bird already dead? Well, here, there's obviously footprints.
Yeah.
You can see footprints, and there's footprints like...
That could be from the arrest and stuff, but yeah.
Yeah.
She got shoes in there.
Nice shoes.
Yeah, I feel like the pen is gonna be important.
Yeah.
Also, like, was she still... Did she just go around holding this mask in front of her eyes all the time?
Yeah.
She spilled wine. Okay. Oh!
What?
Here's my theory. She was sitting on this chair, somebody stabbed through the...
Oh, the hole!
She was sitting in the chair, and then she got stabbed through the hole.
Yep.
Fell down. I solved it. Done.
Dunsies. Dunsies!
How do I... Oops.
Oh.
Solved it.
This is deeply troubling, I must say. The finger of guilt points firmly at the defendant.
Well, Your Excellency, naturally the prosecution has much more to its case. We intend to prove the accused's appalling actions beyond all possible contention. To that end, I can confirm that we have multiple witnesses to the crime and damning evidence.
Witnesses? But who?
No, see, this is good, Susato, because one of the witnesses is always the actual killer.
Yeah!
One of whom, I might add, is a highly respected police detective. He probably did it.
Not if it's Gumshoe, though. If it's a Gumshoe ancestor, she's not allowed.
I assure you, the testimony of these witnesses will leave no room for doubt. I bet the detective will come out and it'll just be like the most suspicious looking person ever. Like...
Very well then, Counsel. Bring forth your witnesses.
No. I, Takatsuchi Ouchi, have been waiting for this moment.
I am a witness.
Sorry?
Oh, yes. I haven't forgotten that trial 9 months ago, here in this very courthouse. When that irreverent little student boy utterly humiliated me.
I lost a good chunk of my hair.
Ah! Ryanosuke Naruhodo.
What? Yes?
This insult to the Ouchi family name will never be forgotten. Oh god. You've become conceited with age, Counsel. I don't remember what I sound like, it's been so long, but the old have to stand aside and make way for the new. It's the way of the world. May you never forget that. Cuts everything. How do you do that? From... He did like the anime thing where it's like a little... makes a gust of wind.
Yep.
And he just left his hair like that?
Yep.
Strike the head of a samurai whose top knot has been cut, and the bell of cultural enlightenment tolls. Yes, on that fateful day, my former self died.
The start of your own mini Meiji revolution. Are you modernizing as well, Counsel?
Silence! Since I swore revenge back then, there has been a minor miracle atop my head. Observe the ouchy growth.
Jeez.
I don't want to.
Yeah.
You see this seed of hope sprouting forth from the barren expanse of my crown? I don't want to.
I think the tiny growth is trying to tell me something.
What? I'm afraid I can't really see. Where is the hope exactly? I said silence! Today, I face another yokel student of the Naruhodo clan. Well, I will vanquish you. And my victory will be fertilizer for the seed of hope atop my head. You have been warned.
I will use your blood and put it in my hair!
Oh god. With that, the prosecution calls the witnesses to the stand. Looks like the stakes are high on both sides in this trial. The prosecution and defense each has much to lose. A haircut. Oh.
A haircut is hardly comparable to Ray's life.
Wow.
Don't be a dick, Dad.
Hey, it's him!
Hold on.
And it's him!
Oh.
We know these guys!
Hold on a second. Witnesses, please state your names and occupations for the court.
Here's my thing.
It's adorable. This is adorable!
I think you voiced both of these guys before.
Boy.
Do you want me to take one of them? Or do you want to do them both?
If you want to take one of them, that's fine.
Okay. Who do you not want?
I guess this guy?
You don't want
I
him?
guess you can do this guy.
Okay. I don't really know what voice you gave him, I forget, so I'll just do something.
Yeah. Make him, like, suave, I don't know.
Chief Inspector Satori Hosonoga, Imperial Police Bureau. I'm in disguise, obviously, so I can go undetected.
This is sucky. Did I just make him, like, really dramatic or something? Like, and I am, well, the next big thing in books. An author renowned throughout the capital, in fact. Yes. Soon to be sold out, the satirical I Am a Cat. A sensational success by Soseki Natsume. Look at this guy in the back.
Hell yeah. Oh my goodness!
Struggling student from the provinces, please. You needn't be in awe of me. He's changed a lot.
Yeah, I needn't?
He was like really like sad and stuff before,
Yeah.
It's only natural that you'd feel nervous in my presence. But all of you, please relax. Call me Soseki even.
Yes? What on earth is Soseki-san doing here?
Tread carefully, Susato. That author fellow knows you from your time in London, doesn't he? If he exposes you for who you really are, this will be over before it's begun.
Yes, of course. I know.
He's kind of stupid, though, so
Yeah.
should be fine.
I presume Soseki-san won't have forgotten about me. I could certainly never forget him. Although he does seem to have changed somewhat in the 6 months or so that it's been since I last saw him. And as for Inspector Hosonoga, that amazing outfit is hard to believe.
Yeah, why is he still in disguise?
Do I have something on my face?
Well, your glasses for one. Although they don't seem to be helping, you see. Thank goodness he hasn't recognized me either. I suppose it's this disguise, is it? I thought that appearing here in the clothes I was wearing at the time would make for a more faithful testimony. It is my guiding principle to carry out all testimonies flawlessly. Well, I can appreciate why an Imperial Police Bureau detective might have been present. But what business did a rider such as yourself have being at the scene, Soseki-san?
I was peeping. Oh, well, you see, I had been asked that day to give a lecture on the morning of the incident in the Imperial Yume University's Grand Lecture Hall, no less.
At Yume University?
After the lecture, I had a very pleasant conversation with a researcher from the Medical Science Department. The professor over there, in fact.
With Professor Mikutoba?
Yes, that's right. It was arranged by one of the newspapers. They wanted some story or other about two former students who'd studied in Great Britain. Of course, being a renowned author, the press never leave me alone. They secretly spy, snapshots, scribble stories, and scupper my privacy. Like this guy?
I guess so. Just some dude from London? Huh.
As you can see, the conversation was written up in this newspaper here. Read it at your leisure, my provincial struggling student friend. I have plenty of copies.
Thank you very much. You practically threw that paper at me. The Soseki Natsume articles. Excellent.
Hold on, we're gonna take a look at that.
Okay.
Anyway, following my interview with the professor, we're not listening.
Look at the kitty.
Oh dang, it's in Japanese. I can't read it. Look at this guy.
Aw, looks happy.
Good man.
Kitty.
Ah!
Yo, why does he do JoJo pose?
Also, yeah, there's broken glass.
Oh, huh?
Did you see that?
I totally missed that.
See?
Oh, wait, huh? Oh, so like the lens of the camera was cracked?
Something like that, yeah.
I feel like that is...
That or he's conjuring lightning.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, a lightning struck me right before this photo was taken. I feel like that will be relevant.
Yeah, something's gonna come up from that, I'm sure.
Hold on. Did the crime scene picture didn't have a crack in it?
No.
Okay.
It did not.
Okay. Can you press Z? Oh, right there, I got it. Oh. Following my interview with the professor, the lady in question appeared and made a very unexpected announcement. I should like to go with everyone to see your country's coast. Those were her words. As I explained before, Miss Brett was never taken into custody. She continued to work in my laboratory, under strict surveillance, of course. At which utterance, the university immediately contacted the government to seek guidance. And the response was, permit Miss Brett to go as long as a detective accompanies her.
That detective, I am at liberty to divulge, was me, Chief Inspector Satori Hasanoka.
Thereby, the entire party departed cordially for the seaside, it seems.
It was extremely challenging to clear all other members of the police from the vicinity of the beach.
The public.
Yeah, that. But fortunately, I am at peak physical fitness at the moment, so I was able to carry out my duty flawlessly. Ignore the blood.
Yeah.
I'm fine. Totally fine. Oh, my. Inspector, you... Well, you do have something on your face now. Ugh, how unsightly. I do apologize. I'm allergic to this turtle. Does that mean that you went to the beach too, Father?
No, fortunately I had work to finish off. But unfortunately, of course, it meant that, as my assistant, Ray was invited to take my place. Of course, being a renowned author, I didn't like to decline the invitation. But only if I had. I'd never have seen that awful sight. Relentlessly racked by remorse and regret.
Very well. I must now ask you to present your formal testimony to the court. You will give an account of what all you witnessed on your impromptu excursion to the coast. Gross. Of course, Your Excellency.
Relentlessly racked by remorse and regret I am.
Poor Soseki. The witness testimony. On the day of the incident, I was ordered on a special surveillance assignment in this disguise.
I just managed to catch that crab when I suddenly heard a caterpillar from behind me. The crab is relevant.
Hell yeah. I ran into the beach hut at once, where I found the pair in question.
Yes, that young girl was astride the Englishwoman, dagger in hand, as she stabbed wildly. There was only one wound.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like we're gonna have to...
I saw blood on the blade. It proved to me that she'd stabbed the victim multiple times.
No, again, there was only one.
Only one stab wound, y'all.
I feel like that's what we're gonna be doing.
Indeed, it does appear from this testimony that both witnesses were present. So that both witnesses here, present, saw it. The very moment of this heinous crime. What?
Now, if you will recall, I promised evidence as well. What phrase did I use again? Yes, that was it. Damning evidence.
I wanted to go with fucking evidence, but they told me no. Oh, what have you there, Counsel? A so-called fountain pen, is it? Correct, Your Excellency. I found it at the scene whilst examining the body. It appears that in her dying moments, with her final ounce of strength, the victim clutched a piece of evidence that would positively identify her killer. What?
Your Excellency, if you would cast your eyes over the photographic print of the crime scene once more.
Oh, goodness me! Look at all that wine spilt! Oh, man, I would have drank it all that easy. Yes, the victim is clearly grasping something quite deliberately there in her hand. Also, is the bird okay? Does anyone know if the bird is okay?
We need to address the bird.
That's right. We do need to address the bird. But for now, the fountain pen. And if you would kindly examine the pen, Your Excellency. Ah! The owner's initials have been engraved into the ebonite barrel. R.M. Ray Membami. Or it stands for Mr. M.R. Oh, the R would be backwards. Never mind.
Robert Marley.
Oh, Robert Marley!
Real...
Ryunosuke.
Ryunosuke.
Marunoma.
Maruhodo. Royal...
Muskrat. Who else? RM. Look at the profiles real quick. Look at the. I'm just curious. I bet it's someone we haven't met yet.
Ouchie.
No. Dang it. Okay. I wondered, but all right. We'll see. The initials of the defendant. I mean, it might be her pen, but no. This fountain pen will be admitted immediately as critical evidence.
Okay, let's look at that shit.
Yeah.
Look at that pen.
So, have I omitted anything? Decisive testimony and damning evidence. There's a bright blue sky outside the courthouse today. Perfect weather to ascribe guilt, I feel. Let's take a closer look at that. Oh, we can't.
Oh, really?
That's it.
Oh, fuck.
That's all there is.
Fuck.
She's done.
I don't understand. The prosecutor ouchie of 9 months ago had none of this man's poise.
Counsel for the defense, you may begin your cross-examination now.
Hell yeah, cross-examination.
Naruhodo-san!
She's done.
Naruhodo? That means... Oh, yes, me!
That means I understand.
Is there another Naruhodo in my courtroom?
Actually, there isn't even a single Naruhodo in your courtroom.
No one understands anything. Cousin Ryotaro, pull yourself together, please.
All right. I've seen this countless times as a judicial assistant.
Yeah, we do this cross-examining shit all the time.
Find inconsistencies in the witnesses' testimonies to prove that they're lying somehow. That's all there is to it.
Oh.
Oh my gosh! Whoa, hello to hell, hi! Hello, friend! You're at perfect timing. We are in the midst of a cross-examination now. We've just begun. Ergo, do the shout-outs!
Yeah.
Oh, so
play.
close, so close!
I got it. There.
Yay! Well, thank you so much, Hell. If anyone who was here previously who didn't just come from Hell, because obviously if you just came from there, then you know how great that Hell is. She is fantastic. She's wonderful. But if you have not seen Hell, you totally should. Absolutely recommend. Hang on. Monseed said we almost took out her entire lineup, but she caught us with a Pokeball. Oh my gosh. And aw, thank you. That means a lot to hear that you enjoy watching us play this kind of game. I love Ace Attorney. I'm a huge sucker for it. And by the way, if this is your first time coming into our channel, my name is Grezy, and then this strapping lad next to me is Ergo Corvus.
Hi.
Yeah.
Welcome.
He's a cool crow too. Aw, Striker. I'm glad that we are the reason that you like this game. I think Ace Attorney is a fantastic game. It's a great experience. If you like visual novels, it's definitely fun. If you like mysteries, it's a lot of fun. Right now, we are trying to defend our friend who is being accused of murder. And oh my goodness, somebody followed. Hang on, or did something.
It's right there.
Oh,
there.
hang on. Oh, thank you, G. Gerby. I appreciate it. Welcome to the treasure hoard. You are a treasured person, not just because you followed, but because you just are. But yes, we are in the midst of trying to prove our friend innocent, because this lady that she hated was found dead, and they assumed that she killed her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, the lady in question was a murderer, so
yeah.
You know, she kind of had it coming. But anyway,
and she had a bird on her head. But we're still not clear if the bird was also murdered.
Right. That's the important question.
I feel like that's the real question. Yeah.
Yes.
The bird didn't kill anybody.
Oh, and also, hello, Iken. I just saw.
Oh, yeah. Hello.
Yeah. Hi, Iken.
Hello, everybody who joined.
Yes. Hello to everybody, and I hope that you continue to enjoy this if you decide to stay. But of course, hell, if you need to take a break from your stream and relax, please, by all means, do not feel obligated. Do what you need to do to, rest after your stream. Especially since it was a crazy Pokemon stream. Your over-leveled Pokemon team almost got wiped out by a singular Zubat named Zuchat.
Zuchat.
Oh my god.
That's good.
I'm so sorry that Zuchat almost murdered your entire team. But I'm glad that you survived. I'm glad your team survived. Hopefully. But yes. And also, if you're new to this, we do amateur voice acting here. So I hope you enjoy this. All right. But yes, as we were saying, that's all there is to it. So let's see what I can do.
The first cross-examination of the second game.
Yes. Observe the cool turtle hat.
Yeah, this guy has a turtle on his head. A lot of people with animals on their heads in this case.
Right? Weird. Aww. Well, thank you for choosing to stay, Hel, but I hope that you are nice and relaxed while doing so. You are very kind to say so. Oh, yes, that's right. We already read that. So now we need to press, as we do. In that jaunty disguise.
Yeah,
Correct.
see, at first I thought he was wearing like the typical prisoner outfit, but I was like, oh right, that was like what
A bathing suit, yeah.
bathing suits looked like back in those times.
Very fashion.
Yeah.
Wait, no. I mean, it wasn't the first time I've worn this swimsuit for a dip in the ocean. It's tried and tested. Do what must be done to keep the Englishwoman under surveillance. Those were my orders that day.
And this tried and tested outfit was the answer?
Being able to blend flawlessly into a crowd is an important part of a detective's job.
Oh, and thank you, Icken, for resubscribing for 20 months. Dude, I'm honored 20 times. Thank you so much. And also, I'm glad this could be your post-work wind down. That means a lot. I hope we can make it a relaxing and yet fun experience at the same time.
Oh, turtle?
I submerged myself in the salty water, leaving only my Mr. Turtle floating inconspicuously on the surface.
Yes, very inconspicuous.
Absolutely. Mr. Turtle loves the water. But there was no need for you to blend into the background on this assignment, really, was there?
If that made you late arriving on the scene, I think perhaps you had your priorities wrong.
Gross.
I'm trying to remember, did he have the bleeding thing
I
last
think he
time,
did.
too?
I do vaguely remember
Yeah,
that.
like, was that explained at all?
Perhaps I shouldn't pursue this line of questioning any further at the moment.
Like, he has, anime disease, like he's gonna die.
Secret anime disease.
Alright.
Catch that crab!
Ask him about
The very important crab question.
Tell me about the crab.
As you're describing the victim's scream, presumably... you're describing the victim's scream, presumably, Soseki-san.
It was the crab screaming.
Yes.
In more literary terms, you might say it was a scream that could have pierced the heavens. Kya! Or the like. Now he's doing like a Naruto. he's gonna
do some ninjutsu over here.
He's gonna cast a spell. Of course, that's just a metaphor. We renowned authors are wont to describe things, so they've been using want a lot recently.
They have been, yeah. It's been effing me up because I'm not used to it. Soseki-san wasn't at all like this in England.
Anyway, I spun around at the noise, and the beach hut immediately fell under my gaze.
Yes, the beach hut. The area is popular with government ministers. Many have seaside retreats there for rest and recuperation.
Interesting.
Locals are prohibited from entering the area, so it's always very quiet. The beach hut is a simple structure, erected as a place for people to change or take refuge from the sun. And there is a crab.
Although, the Englishwoman commandeered the hut for herself,
The bitch.
which meant that I was forced to change into my swimwear on the sand.
How archaic.
I imagine that was rather
Embarrassing for you.
Well, anyway, I tossed the crab aside and headed for the beach hut at a run. Or, in more literary terms, I decrabbed and beetled off hut-wise.
We need to... Is this gonna be... Hang on. print screen. Is that gonna be the title card?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Here, wait, isn't there like a way to make the screen like... whatever.
Yeah.
To make the text box disappear, but...
I believe in you.
Okay, I ran into the beach huts where
Okay.
I found a pair.
Wait, by pair, you don't mean to say, but how could that be?
How is there a pear in there?
A pair in there,
An apple I could understand,
but a pair? No, you misunderstand. Obviously, I mean the victim and the defendant, Rei Memambami-san.
Was that a boob joke?
Oh, maybe.
A pair. She thought he meant a pair of boobs.
Wow. Oh, it would have been helpful if you could have just said that from the outset. If you jump to conclusions, you have to expect to fall flat on your face sometimes.
When you assume, you make an ass out of you and me.
Boom!
Dear me, pinning your hopes on such an outside chance. Foolish, very foolish.
It really was an outside chance. I just wish I'd realized that before I said something silly.
So, Inspector, why don't you tell the court how exactly you found the aforementioned pair in the hut?
Well, it was a sorry sight. A really grisly scene. I parted the Norin curtain hanging in the doorway and stepped inside, only to see the defendant leaning menacingly over the lifeless body of the victim sprawled on the sand. Made me want to throw up. But I coughed instead. My glasses were nearly cracked at the ominous sight that met my eyes.
How thoroughly appalling.
He doesn't appear to be lying here.
Well, Saseki-san, can you confirm what Inspector Hosonaga is saying, I wonder?
You'd like a literary man's opinion.
See, that should be the face, maybe.
There you go, I want to press a screenshot. She stabbed wildly, press.
Stabbed wildly. You actually saw her do it?
Oh, indeed. The terrible spectre, the terrapin inspector, the bloody torrent, the author's torment.
Actually, should it be this? All of the fucking
Should be
Saseki
this.
shit.
You want to take one? There you go. Alright. I'll have to decide what to use. Every sight and every sound is still carved in my melancholy memory. That was my impression, at least, as a future literary sensation. Counsel, what on earth was that shrill, effeminate scream? I mean, coming from you?
Right?
Oh, no, ahem. What are you insinuating? I'm as manly a Japanese man as you.
Also,
Objection!
for those of you who are not familiar with this character, this is Susato-san. She is usually Ryunosuke Naruhodo's judicial assistant in court. She's basically his Maya, if you've ever seen the original trilogy. But anyway, she is in Japan right now, and Ryunosuke is still in England. And she's pretending to be a man so that she can defend her friend in court, because apparently women aren't allowed to do that. So that's what's going on if you're just joining for that.
I wonder if I might interject here, Saseki-san. Something you said is troubling me. That was my impression, were your words just now, I believe. He's twitching. Twitching.
So, do you mean to say you're not confident that you really did see what you've described?
You a fucking liar? It's like looking over his shoulders.
What are all these motions? What is he doing?
No! I mean, yes! I mean, I know what I saw! My ears didn't deceive me when I heard that scream, hence my eyes didn't deceive me either. I could describe everything I saw vividly. I could publish it all in tomorrow's newspaper serial.
Yeah!
And a bowl of cereal. It sounds as though the next installment of I Am a Cat may take a macabre turn.
Ooh.
I think this is a fool's errand. The more we press your author friend on what he saw, the more entrenched he's going to become.
Oh dear. How awkward.
Alright, I feel like this will be the one, because he specifically says stab the victim multiple times. This is probably where we'll present like the autopsy report.
She was stabbed multiple times. How can you be sure of that?
But what if there's an updated autopsy report which says there's multiple stab wounds?
Oh, shoot! How Ace Attorney of this game? Very simple. Or, very simply, from the blood on the blade.
The blood blade.
The blood blade. The blood of the blade. The bladed blood. When I entered the hut, I saw the defendant holding the blade raised up in the air.
Yes, that's right. I saw it too.
And I noted that there was blood on the blade already at that point.
Also, geez, Ray, you're supposed to leave it in the wound anyway, as we learned during Killer Frequency.
Yeah, geez.
You're not supposed to take it out, and also because then, yeah, it makes it look like you did it.
Just like fucking Edgeworth. Come on, what's with people and holding stuff?
Just holding murder weapons.
Yeah, just like Ryunosuke too. Ryunosuke held the freaking gun.
Yeah, stop picking up murder weapons.
Yeah, stop putting your fingerprints on shit.
It's like Eddie the Eagle says, stop, don't touch, leave the area, tell an adult.
Stop, don't touch, leave the area, tell an adult. Anyway, good.
Yeah. There's blood on the blade already at that point.
In other words, the victim had already been stabbed at least once by the time I arrived on the scene.
Yes, that's right, I saw it too.
And the victim was already holding the defendant's fountain pen in her hand, too.
That seems weird.
That is weird.
Because it was in the defendant's hand when the picture was taken, which would have been after. What?
Wait, what?
Because the picture of the body, the victim is holding the pen.
What is he saying? Hang on.
He said...
In other words, the victim had already been stabbed.
Oh,
yes.
sorry. I got it backwards.
Yeah, okay. That's why I was like, wait a minute.
I thought he was saying that... What's her name? The defendant
yeah.
the pen.
See, that could be a good one, too. Here, I'm taking it. God, I always forget where the print screen button is. Okay, there we go. All of which I can be sure the victim did not die instantly.
Yes, right. I saw it too.
He sees a lot of things, too. Maybe a year in London was too much for him. He sounds like he's forgotten how to speak Japanese.
Wow. The logic of your argument is sound, at least. Just on the side there.
Anyway, well, as I said, it is my guiding principle to carry out all testimonies flawlessly. Perhaps it should have been your guiding principle to protect the victim flawlessly. Burn! That's just my personal opinion, of course. That's the Kermit meme. That's none of my business, of course. Just sip some tea.
Sorry, I was busy trying.
Counsel, you refrain from mocking the witness. It's very rude. Oh no, I have so many thoughts whirling around in my head. Oh, that's right, I can speak normal. Okay, that's all I can do, stand here, wide-eyed and mute.
Goodness, my dear, you really must try to calm down.
But how am I supposed to find an inconsistency in what these two gentlemen are saying? I don't see why either of them would have any reason to lie.
What you must remember, I think, is that witnesses may inadvertently lie at times. For various reasons, a misunderstanding, a mistaken observation, a delusion even.
A delusion.
What's important is that we determine the truth, and there's only one sure way to do that.
Yes, with evidence, of course.
Spoken like a true judicial assistant. During witness testimony, you can use E to pick a piece of evidence to present for consideration. So you need to listen carefully to each statement and compare what's said to the details in the court record. If you find some conflicting information, that may be the inconsistency you're looking for.
Yes, it's all about inconsistencies.
Once you've identified a witness's statement that appears to conflict with a piece of evidence, present the evidence to the witness with R, and the way ahead will present itself to you, I'm sure.
Yes. All right then. I'll consider the details of the evidence in the court record against each statement to find an inconsistency. I hope I'm up to the task.
Don't forget that you can have the witnesses repeat their statements as many times as you like. We could just be here forever. Everyone has to start at the beginning, remember? So those wide eyes are quite forgivable. And besides, there's no one else to defend the poor girl.
You're right. I need to listen to the testimony again, from the start.
Alright.
Okay, so they're saying...
I'm pretty sure it's on the last one.
You think so?
When I do the autopsy.
Young girl, I saw the blood. It proved to me that she...
Multiple
Yeah, because on the autopsy it said only a single wound was identified.
Only a single one.
Present that shit!
We win!
Whoa, our first objection! Or see, this would be a good one too. Because she's doing it.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. My bad. With that accusatory cry that just welled up from deep inside me, I think I finally understand. Every time Kazuma-sama and Naruhodo-san have stood here at this bench, the stakes have been very, very high indeed.
What's the meaning of that menacing pose, Counsel?
I'd like the witness to clarify something for me.
Who? What? Where? When? How?
Not you, Soseki-san. This query is directed at Inspector Hosonoga.
At me?
In your statement just now, you said that the victim was stabbed multiple times.
Yes, that's right. As I said, when I entered the hut, the defendant was already standing over the victim, bloody knife in hand, like a murderous demon.
And yet, that cannot be.
What? Get to the point, please, Counsel.
In the post-mortem report, it clearly states that the victim was stabbed one time only.
Ah!
Hey.
In other words, Inspector Hosonoga's testimony is clearly flawed.
Ah!
And Soseki-san,
Me?
we're used to that. You claim to have seen Membami-san in the throes of stabbing the victim.
Yes, I did. Wildly.
But both you and the inspector confirmed the same point. That there was already blood on the knife that you saw the defendant holding.
Yes, and?
He's trying to improv.
It's quite simple. We know the murder weapon was used to stab the victim only once. Therefore, there was no way there could have been blood on the knife if that single stabbing hadn't already occurred.
True.
Then what exactly is your contention, Counsel? Are you ever going to tell us?
No.
Yes, Your Excellency. There's only one logical conclusion. What Soseki-san in fact saw was not the moment that the defendant stabbed the victim at all, but the moment that the defendant in fact withdrew the blade from the victim's body.
That can't be. Excellent work, Susato. You exploded at them with that objection, and then proceeded to pull them apart systematically.
How violent!
Well, this takes me back. Yes, I seem to remember your cousin staged a scene much like this in that trial 9 months ago. A half-witted child with a half-baked objection attempting to steal the show. You're right, there were certain similarities. Except that so-called half-witted child managed to outwit the prosecution, who has only half a head of hair.
Oh!
Slander! My head is quite adequately dressed. In any case, all this talk of stabbing and withdrawing and multiple wounds, it makes not a jot of difference.
Doesn't it?
What? Why not?
Engage your brain, young man. When the accused first plunged the deadly weapon into the victim, that was the fatal blow. And it was that moment, just as she had withdrawn the blade ready for her next strike, that the witnesses saw. The knife was already tainted with blood because the accused had already stabbed the victim.
Ah!
All you have successfully shown with your little display is that the mustached author is prone to moments of extravagance.
Speaking of extravagance,
Yeah.
I am in agreement with the prosecution. That was very extravagant. And the defendant, if the defendant was seen wielding the blade at all, that is sufficient grounds for her actions to be viewed with suspicion.
She's very sus.
Sus! But if she was withdrawing the blade...
Then we are back where we started.
Sorry?
Consider this, young yokel boy. If the student girl is innocent as you claim, then why would she have pulled the blade from the victim? And with a demon's cold-blooded composure, too. The prosecution demands an explanation, and it had better be good.
Well, you see, she's an idiot. She didn't know. Why did Ray pull out the knife?
She's gonna, like, cut some fruit. She needed a knife.
Yes, yummy blood knife.
Ah, yes, going for the jugular. No, she was stabbed in the back. Not the neck.
Wow. What does father mean by that? Let the court hear your answer then, counsel.
The truth is, I don't really know. But I have to come up with a plausible reason here, or we won't have a case.
The reason why the defendant pulled the knife blade out of the victim's body was solely that she could
Save her life, hide the knife.
I mean, this would be, like, the best one for our purposes.
Can we save?
Options G, baby. Save.
Beautiful. We love it. Excellent. Save her life. Let's go for the good.
According to the post-mortem report, the victim's death was not instant. That's correct. It's thought that she would have remained conscious for a short while after sustaining the injury.
Indeed, giving her the time to take hold of this piece of evidence that clearly indicates her killer.
The point is, being a medical research assistant, Mambami-san was compelled to act when faced with the wounded victim. Instinctively, she pulled the blade out in an attempt to save Miss Brett's life. Even though technically that's the opposite, you just leave it in, but I don't know if they knew that back then.
I wonder if they're gonna say that.
Yeah, I do kind of wonder that as well.
Especially because since he's like a doctor.
Yeah.
Haha. Did you hear that, Your Excellency? It would seem this is the best we can expect of this young yokel.
Indeed.
Is it just me, or does it suddenly feel much colder in here?
Your Excellency, if I may. Speak, witness!
Look at him crying.
Yes, anime, his shoujo eyes.
I would like another opportunity to testify. In respect to the slipshod assertion just put forward by the yokel defense counsel, I mean.
Wow. Also, yeah, I bet that is what they're gonna say.
Slipshod?
Haha. An excellent idea, Inspector. Our young yokel hopeful has a modicum of knowledge when it comes to the law, it seems. But in matters of medicine, he appears to possess not one iota of common sense.
Very well, Inspector. I will permit your request.
I'm going to say maybe we'll do this one more cross-examination, and then that'll be it.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Because I don't know exactly how long this case is going to be.
Yes, sir. I will do so flawlessly.
Because I feel like neither of them is the killer.
Yeah, no, they wouldn't be.
Hosonaga, I mean, he's like a little sus or whatever, but like he helped us before in the first game.
Yeah.
I mean, unless it was like maybe he really did just want to kill her, but then I don't think he would frame somebody.
Right. Yeah, I don't think either of them did it.
Yeah.
Pulling a blade from a wound without thinking could cause heavy bleeding. That's basic knowledge that any medical research assistant with an ounce of sense ought to know. In other words, there's no good reason why the defendant would have tried to pull the knife from the victim. Let's not forget, the young student did have a motive for killing the victim. The man the victim murdered 9 months ago, Dr. Wilson, was the defendant's highly respected mentor. Is what you just said true, Inspector? Could pulling a knife from a wound really cause the wound to bleed heavily?
It is funny how we just dealt with that in Killer Frequency.
It really is, yeah. How coinky-dinky.
Yes, think of the weapon itself as a stopper in the wound that prevents excessive blood loss. Until a doctor is ready to provide proper treatment, that stopper shouldn't be removed. Oh, I see.
Ha! This is why yokels should stay on the farm. I want to take a quick look at the scene. Never mind. I was gonna like see if like she was maybe like going to like prepare a bandage or something.
Right, yeah.
This stuff, but I think it's just like a belt or whatever. I don't know. Like if she was going to try and treat the wound.
Yeah.
Even a quack from some obscure mountain village would have such basic knowledge.
Jeez.
Anyone who's ever given someone a little poke with a knife and pulled it out again knows it. Wait, what, have you?
Yeah, ouchie, what the heck? You want to say that again?
Oh, well, I've never stabbed anyone, you see, or pulled a blade out of a wound, so...
Of course you haven't. I didn't bring you up to behave like a bandit.
Father, is it true what they're telling me?
Yes, it's basic remedial knowledge for medics. Ray would have been well aware of it. If she were to claim ignorance of such fundamentals, that would prove fatal in many ways.
But then, why would Ray have done it? Could she have pulled out that knife in full knowledge that it would be fatal for Miss Brett?
Yeah, no, I'm wondering, like... Maybe that isn't actually the murder weapon? Anyway. I don't know.
Ray never once mentioned anything about the knife to me. It seems almost impossible to believe, but... Could my friend actually have...
Susato.
Yes.
I'm just gonna say your real name in front of everybody. Pull yourself together. We mustn't lose sight of why we're here.
Counsel, it's time for your cross-examination. Oh, yes, Your Excellency. However, I must warn you that if your cross-examination fails to identify any issue with the established facts, I will be moving to my adjudication immediately afterwards. I understand.
Believing in your clients and fighting for their cause until the bitter end. I knew it would be hard, but I had no idea it would be this hard.
That's what, never mind.
Were you about to say that's what she said?
Sorry.
Wow.
You read my mind. Okay, press him.
Press!
Press him with a knife. Oh, press is what you're supposed to do on the wound.
Yeah, oh, of course, yes.
You say doing it without thinking could be a problem.
What if you did it while thinking?
Does that mean if you use due care and attention, it would be alright? I wouldn't have thought this needed spelling out, really, but... The blade is like a stopper in the wound. Remove it, and a serious hemorrhage will occur. In other words, a medic would need to be present before any attempt was made to withdraw the blade. Doing it without thinking would be madness. You just can't do it. Oh, well, thank you for such a thorough explanation.
Okay, if my theory about stabbing through the crack in the wall is correct, then yeah, she wouldn't have the murder weapon because it would be outside the hut. Because, yeah...
Yeah, maybe she picked up the knife and was like, what the hell is this? Yeah.
I was going to say they would have only been able to get, like, the blade through... Well, we haven't really seen the murder weapons.
Yeah, we really haven't.
Because I was going to say, like, the handle probably wouldn't have been able to go through.
Yeah.
Anyway. You see, Council? When you act without thinking, the result is a bloodbath. I get it because they were bathing?
Wow.
Back to the witness testimony, please.
Basic knowledge. Research for the system. No.
Well, maybe it's not basic knowledge.
Maybe she's bad at her job. Maybe she's stupid.
Hey, you know what? It's fine for Ray to be bad at her job. You know, it's fine. She just has to go back to medical school.
This isn't always explanation.
I
wonder, is that what she's going to say? Maybe she didn't know.
In that case, there's an obvious explanation here. Which is... Clearly, the defendant Ray Membambi-san does not pose... does not possess an ounce of sense.
Like, sorry, I mean, I'm trying to defend you.
What do you think about that, Professor Mikotoba?
I'm not sure that you should be labeling your best friend as lacking in common sense.
Well, I thought it would be better than labeling her as a murderer.
I don't know, young people today. If that's friendship, I don't understand it.
Careful, Counsel. A lack of common sense can be a very dangerous thing.
I say as I smack this threateningly.
I'm gonna smack you upside the head with it! Oh dear, that recoiled on me rather badly.
That's life, I'm afraid. A lesson everyone must learn.
Hopefully, you can see now that this is really basic medical knowledge. Being involved in medical research, Membami-san would certainly have been aware of it.
Okay, there's no good reason why the defendant would have tried to pull the knife.
Is there, though? Is there?
But the defendant had suddenly encountered somebody she knew lying on the ground, bleeding to death. The sight could have shocked her delicate sensibilities, causing her to remove the blade inadvertently. I really don't think inadvertent actions can explain this. The woman is a medical research assistant. I can't imagine she would behave so irrationally. Oh, but irrational behavior is our woman's prerogative, isn't it? It is a woman's prerogative.
Let's see, maybe we can use sexism to defend her.
Oh dear, you have a lot to learn about women.
He says to the woman.
Only a small-minded man could have such bigoted views.
Didn't know Hosonaga was based.
Hosonaga, yeah! Oh dear, perhaps I'm letting my male persona take a hold a little too much.
No, I'm becoming misogynist.
Oof! Well, have I managed to convey the basics now? That should cover the medical side of the argument.
The young student did not, or did have a motive. Okay. What?
Whatever the motive, it just isn't in Mamami-san's nature to do something so awful. But she had both motive and opportunity. That's very hard to argue against. But you don't know the defendant.
And you, counsel, do not appear to know the law.
Yes, evidence is the only way to convince the court of your argument, not feelings.
With this fledgling to defend her, I would almost say I pity the accused.
So do I. Inspector, you'll reiterate your point about the defendant's motive, please. Let me just wipe my blood. Yes, Miss Brett was in many ways the sworn enemy of Membami-san.
Last one. The man the victim murder was the defendant's father's victim. See, I don't really know, unless this reveals something.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Well, yes, that's true. Dr. Wilson recognized Membami-san's talent and offered her the position of assistant despite her being a woman. She was extremely grateful to him. Yes, the Englishman appears to have a very broad-minded individual.
Dr. Wilson had no time for outdated traditions. He met with opposition, of course, but he believed firmly in Membami-san's abilities.
Clearly, the defendant was in the man's debt, which only serves to prove my point. Fuck. This is hopeless. I can't find a single crack in this testimony anywhere. If Ray knew that withdrawing the knife from the wound would threaten Miss Brett's life further, I just can't think of any way to explain why she did it.
Susato, it's at times like these when it's especially important to remember the fundamentals.
The fundamentals?
Evidence is what counts in the courtroom, isn't it?
Of course! But I've been through the court record dozens of times already.
I think perhaps you're forgetting something, though. You needn't take the evidence at face value. You can and must examine it in greater detail, too. Are we gonna, unlock the ability to... So maybe we can look at the pen?
Yeah!
I realize this is your first time playing this game. I mean, the role of lawyer in the courtroom. So if you need reminding of the rudiments, you need only ask. I'll do my very best to help.
Yes, please, Daddy, help!
Examine the evidence.
Ask for a refresher? No.
Well, might as well. Gotta get all the dialogue.
Spartan guidance is what I need.
I think that might be overdoing it slightly, but... Very well. So open the court record, first of all, with E. Now let's take a look at the fountain pen. Yeah. Simply press space to examine it further. Oh, it's 3D.
Yes.
By using the arrow keys, you can look at a piece of evidence from all angles. You should have a good look at everything to make sure you haven't missed any clues.
Yes, I will. I just need to rotate. Whoa.
Yeah, that stamp.
Yeah, I'm trying. Aw, she looks so cute. Anyway, there's some sort of emblem here. Look.
Some sort of fire emblem.
But it isn't a Yume University one.
It must belong to some other organization, I suppose. A business of some kind. The Yakuza.
But that would... Oh, yeah.
That would seem to imply that the pen doesn't in fact belong to Ray.
Oh!
Blah, blah, blah. Okay, so let's find where he talks about the pen. Right.
Okay.
Didn't he say something... Oh, no, wait, he doesn't mention the pen. Wait, then when would we...
He did say the pen.
What's the...
Well, excuse me. He was talking about the part where she was holding the pen in her hand.
Did I just totally miss that?
Uh-huh.
That's...
Because I swore I saw it. I know what to do. I saw that. I know.
Is there anything? Yes, we know. Only a blade cause heavy bleed. Ought to know. The defendant would have tried to... No, none of these mention the pen.
Oh.
Wait, where
what did I see? I saw it, though. I did.
Yeah, I thought... Highly respected mentor. What?
Can we click on the little thingies?
No.
Oh, damn. Why doesn't this let you go back?
There was
He
somewhere
said
to
a
go
thing.
back, but I can't remember.
I don't know. Anyway.
Do we need to examine other stuff too?
Let's examine other stuff.
Maybe we didn't examine everything with the pen. Maybe there's something on the other side. Hold on, because there's the emblem. I don't know. Can we, like, open it? Yeah, wait, no. Okay, the pen's left.
Oh.
Yeah, okay, hold on.
That's a pen, baby.
Does that tell us anything? Oh. What, can we twist it?
Now let's unscrew the barrel, shall we?
Oh. Is there a knife? Or, wait, huh?
Oh, what? Doesn't appear to be anything in it. This must be the little reservoir that holds the ink.
Yes, you fill it by drawing ink from a bottle up through the nib. Is something wrong? Oh, that's something wrong, Father. Just that there doesn't actually appear to be any ink in there.
Oh, yes, you're right. It's pretty much empty. Well, it could be on the verge of running out, I suppose.
Okay. What does that-
She wouldn't have been able to write anything if there wasn't any ink in it.
Yeah.
Because they were saying that she... Well, they were saying that she used it as a way to prove who her killer was.
The fact that Miss Brett was clinging to this pen in her dying moments is very clearly a message.
To identify her killer, you mean?
I don't think there can be any doubt that this is a key piece of evidence in this case. Okay, now are we done? I think we're done now.
Okay, let's look at the other stuff, though, too. Because now we can turn the paper over.
No. Oh, wait. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we can.
It wasn't 3D before, so I wasn't... That was weird.
This is the newspaper from Sasaki-san. There seems to be an important article on the back page as well. Exclusive. Deadly poison stolen from Yume Medical Research Laboratory. It was filled with poison!
Poison? Oh, you spit all over me.
Sorry.
Jeez.
From Yume's Medical Research. Father, isn't that your lab?
What the? Let me see that. The poison's been stolen?
Is this morning's paper that... It's this morning's paper that Sasaki-san gave us. Are you saying you didn't know?
As embarrassing as that is for the head of the laboratory, I didn't. I've not heard any such thing. Where on earth could the reporter have gleaned his information?
Come to think of it, there was no article mentioning this story in our paper this morning, was there?
It's a highly toxic poison we've been working on in the strictest confidence.
I'd put Ray... Ooh,
I'd put Ray in charge of the project.
Ray?
But
She was managing it?
that just makes her more suspicious.
God damn it, Dad!
If what's written here is true, it means that she tried to hide the theft from me. And moreover, the details were leaked somehow.
I don't believe it. Huh, look, is that a thing about Ouchie's hair?
I don't know. Oh, it's maybe like a hair growth.
I think it is, yeah, hair growth thing.
Like drug, yeah. We need to read this article very carefully about the hair growth. Not that I need it. I still have hair. Article about poison. Okay, so we'll have to examine that separately.
Probably.
Okay, that's...
Here, turn it back over again.
I wonder if they'll note the crack in the...
Yeah.
picture.
Ruckus, yeah, is that Ruckus?
Raucous?
Raucous? England returnees, tell all. This is the interview with you and Sasaki-san, isn't it, Father? It looks as though it was quite an exchange.
Yes, he became a little over-animated when he was talking about his time in England. The photographer managed to capture the moment. His hand karate chopped me on the neck.
Jesus. I do hope you weren't hurt. Nothing about the crack, huh? Oh well. Interesting. Okay. And let's look at the picture. There might be something on the back of, or well... Oh yeah, it doesn't let us...
It just does the magnifying glass, which never really...
Or well, here, can you look at...
No, it just does that.
Okay. I wondered.
And that's just text.
Okay.
There's this. Exclusive deadly poison stolen from Yume Medical Research Laboratory following a lecture at Yume by Soseki Natsume on the 11th of August. It's come to light that a very disturbing incident took place. The deadly poison being secretly developed in the university's forensic science laboratory was stolen. Deadly in tiny quantities, even the smallest amount entering the body, either via the mouth or via a wound from a poison-laced blade, would prove fatal in minutes. Current methods cannot detect the newly developed chemical. The university would have to be consulted. Why is the poison being developed? Onset of symptoms occurs in minutes, starting with impaired breathing and ending with acute contraction of the pupils prior to death.
Fuck.
Such symptoms would be suggestive of this toxin. It's apparently an entirely new synthesis of alkaloids and rumored to have been commissioned by the military.
And her pupils were fucked up.
Yep.
So it's definitely death by poison then.
Yeah.
Probably maybe poison on the blade. Oh, she was trying to see the blade. She was trying to see if there was poison on the blade. Maybe?
But it's covered in blood.
Yeah, but because they said poison-laced blade, so like maybe she was trying to. Do you have an idea?
I mean, I'm thinking it's the pen had the poison.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm talking about why she would have the knife in her hand at all.
Wait.
That's what I'm going back to.
What if?
Because I do agree with you that the poison was in the pen.
What if she was poisoned with the pen and then she died, and then what's her name stabbed her after she was already dead? I don't know.
I hate you. Yeah.
Then she technically, all she would be guilty of is like desecrating a body or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, maybe.
I don't think that's it, but
I don't know. But do you understand where I'm coming from, though? Do you like what I mean?
As far as like why she would pick up the knife?
Yeah, that's all I'm getting at.
I guess I'm still a little confused.
Yeah.
But...
Should we consult a walkthrough? Should we look?
Huh?
Should we do a little looking?
Well, let's just see what we can do now.
Okay.
Because we have more evidence, so.
We do.
Let's see if one of those would be appropriate.
Pulling a blade from the wound without thinking could cause heavy bleeding. That's basic knowledge.
I don't think that's...
In other words, there's no good reason why the defendant would try to pull out a knife from the victim. I feel like this is relation to what I was talking about.
Actually, if I press left, no, see, that doesn't... I feel like there was a way to go back, but it's like...
Yeah, I don't know how. Can we just entertain my... Let's save. Entertain my weird whimsy. My thought process here. And if it doesn't work, I'll ignore it for now.
So present
the thing about the poison. Yeah.
Objection!
No, there is one possibility. One very good reason why the defendant might have decided to withdraw the knife from the victim's wound. What?
Ha! The yokel not only has a poor grasp, but is also a poor loser.
Ooh, looks like I might be on the right track here.
Tell us then, what possibility do you think you've identified?
It's here, in this newspaper article. An article about a deadly poison having been stolen from a laboratory at the Imperial Yume unit.
Objection!
The victim perished from a stab wound. Poison has no relevance in this case.
But... Prosecutor Ouchi, you would let the defendant speak.
But a newspaper article, the court cannot rely on the kind of hearsay those wretched publications carry.
Counsel for the defense. I am going to need some tangible basis for your claim. You will indicate to the court precisely what part of the newspaper article mentioned affirms your assertions.
Your Excellency.
Yes, of course. Thank you. Ray would never have done something to further endanger Miss Bert's life without just cause. The reason why the defendant pulled the knife from the victim's body is explained in the article where it says, why is the poison...
Quantities.
I think it was... Court record real quick. I think it was under the part where it says why it is being developed. Or wait, no. It was deadly in tiny quantities. Yeah. Okay, I was wrong about the third one. I forgot that last one was on the final page.
The article reveals the following property about the poison in question. When the toxin enters the body on a knife laced with the poison, it's rapidly absorbed and causes death in minutes. Are you suggesting? If the knife used to attack Miss Brett was laced with this very poison, it would explain why the defendant, Membambi-san would have withdrawn the blade as soon as possible. Yes, the truth is, it was an attempt to stop the poison from entering the victim's body. I mean, I was wrong. I was thinking it was about seeing if the poison was on the blade, but that works too.
This is complete and utter nonsense.
Not at all. The defendant withdrew the knife blade from the victim's body not to accelerate the woman's demise, but to save her life, and the prosecution cannot deny the possibility.
Have you not read the post-mortem report? The cause of death was hemorrhage. The word poison appears nowhere in the document. But our pupils.
Well, yes. That's because by acting quickly to remove the blade, the defendant prevented the poison from taking hold.
Oh, please, this is clearly desperation. The weasel's last breaking of wind.
The weasel's last fart.
Poison has nothing whatsoever to do with this case, so I believe the defense, or as I believe the defense is well aware. We have no proof that the information in this wretched newspaper article is at all reliable anyway.
Wrong. In that situation, what the student should have done is wait for medical assistance to arrive. But instead, you claim she suspected poisoning and took the potentially lethal decision to remove the blade. She must have had a strong reason for her suspicion then, or the argument makes no sense.
Exactly. Well put, Inspector. On what grounds did she do it, yokel?
Why did Rice suspect the stolen poison was involved? The eyes! The eyes! If you want grounds, I'll give you grounds.
Coffee grounds.
Up your nose! I don't know. What?
You can't possibly.
Oh, I can possibly. I am possibly. From your expression, counsel, it would appear those are not empty words. But naturally, as you stand in this courtroom as a lawyer, you must be aware that words alone, empty or not, are of no value in our modern justice system. The court demands evidence. Yes, Your Excellency. I'm well aware of that. I've seen it many times. From my place at his side in the Old Bailey. In that case, counsel, you will present the proof to the court now. What evidence demonstrates a clear link? It's the eyes. The eyes of Notre Dame.
Postmortem report. What are you doing?
I'm looking up a walkthrough real quick just to see how close we are. Because if we're really close to being done, then I say we just finish. But if we're not, then we could take a break soon. To, you know what I mean by break. I mean,
Keep reading.
yeah. Walk through. Hang on. Okay. I would ask the court to refer to the notes section of the post-mortem report, which reads, extreme meiosis, pupil constriction, was observed in the victim. Clearly, being a yokel with no knowledge of forensic science, I have no idea. So please, do tell me. Presumably, the fact that this condition of the victim was noted in the post-mortem report means that it's an unusual symptom of death.
Well,
under normal circumstances, the pupils dilate when someone dies. If there was extreme constriction instead, that's most certainly unusual, yes.
what are you doing, you yokel detective? Is yokel his only insult?
Right? It seems like it. In the newspaper article, there's the following information about the stolen poison. Onset of symptoms occur in minutes, ending with acute constriction of the pupils prior to death.
What?
If the defendant, upon seeing the victim stabbed in the back, happened to notice that the pupils of Miss Brett's eyes had constricted severely.
Yes, as a medical research assistant, she would have suspected poison immediately, without doubt. Grr.
Prosecutor Ouchie, I think you'll agree. This is very compelling evidence.
You,
Bitch!
yokel student and yokel professor.
And I did look at a walkthrough, and it seems there is a part 2, so I think we're coming to the end of part 1. Because I noticed something about
People who are constricted.
yeah, so I think we're at the end of part 1. So, yeah, good timing. So, yeah, we'll be good.
I mean, it looks like there's still a little more.
Well, that's what I mean, is in, like, timing to end this episode, and we'll pick up on part 2 next time.
Yeah.
That's what I meant.
I believe the defense has expertly demonstrated a credible reasoning for the defendant's actions.
No.
Yujin Mikotoba,
Yes, Your Excellency.
I believe you are best placed here to confirm or deny the veracity of the defense counsel's argument. You will tell the court the truth about the details reported in this newspaper, please.
It pains me to have to admit it. But I'm afraid I don't know.
You don't know?
The toxin was kept under lock and key in my laboratory, certainly, but I was unaware of any theft.
Do you mean to tell the court that the reports of this theft are unfounded?
No, Your Excellency. Without returning to the laboratory to investigate myself, I couldn't say. Ha! Listen to the bumbling academic. Unaware of the theft of secret state research from his own workplace until he reads it in a newspaper. I take full responsibility for the incompetence of my supervision.
Father.
A pitiful situation for a university professor. You should have more control over your students, rather than allowing them off on killing sprees.
That's totally unfounded.
None of this is Professor Mikotoba's fault. It's all my fault.
Ray. Membami-san, you stand accused here. Outbursts like this will not be tolerated.
But it was me. I was the one who noticed that the poison we were developing had been stolen that day.
What? So, you knew?
I'd been placed in charge of overseeing the project. It was the day that the professor and Soseki-san were interviewed together for the newspaper. That's when I noticed that some of the poison was missing. Just a tiny amount it was. Why didn't you let me know immediately? I was scared. The whole project was supposed to be confidential. Some of the toxin had somehow been taken. So I decided I'd try to get it back before anyone else found out. Because I had a very good idea who the thief was.
The thief? You don't mean...
Yes, of course. It was that dainty English woman.
Miss Giselle Brent?
That's why I decided to join the little group of people going to the seaside. Inside the beach hut, I confronted Miss Brett. But she just sat on a stool at the back of the hut, smiling sweetly at me, as if she knew she was untouchable. I know it was you who stole the poison.
Well now, whatever do you mean?
And then she suddenly got to her feet before falling to her knees in front of me and then collapsing on the floor. That's when I saw the knife in her back.
You were right, it was in the hole in the thing.
Yeah. I couldn't understand what had just happened. And then, a moment later, I was seized with fear. The pupils of her eyes they'd shrunk to tiny pinpoints. I don't believe it.
In other words, you realize that the victim was suffering the effects of the stolen poison.
My mind started racing. I hadn't seen anything past Miss Brett's lips whilst I'd been with her.
Well, wine. She had wine.
Oh, yeah. Which left only one possible way for the poison to have entered her body. But, like, she had the wine, but then also got stabbed in the back? Like, did she die from poison and stabbing?
I don't know.
A little confused on that.
On the blade of the knife in her back. And that train of thought was what spurred you to withdraw the blade.
Yes, if the amount that had entered her bloodstream was small enough, she might still have a chance. That's what I hoped. Really, I'm so sorry for staying silent all this time. No, it's okay. For some reason, they never let the defendants say anything in any of the trials.
Right?
Even when it would be helpful.
Your attempt to hide the truth of what happened is not something that can be overlooked. However, I have duly noted the courage with which you confessed in the end.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
It's barely perceptible, but I do think the balance has shifted a little here. In this courtroom now.
Your Excellency, do not be deceived. The victim just collapsed before your eyes, you say? Well, Membambi-san, if that is the case, perhaps you could explain how Miss Brett came to be stabbed. Well, with a knife, I have no answer because the simple truth is that you stabbed the victim motivated by revenge.
Objection!
But you have no conclusive evidence to prove that assertion, do you?
Oh, I have evidence, and it is very much conclusive.
What's the prosecution counsel up to? He was brief, but he hesitated for a moment there. I'm almost sure of it.
You will produce the aforementioned evidence at once, Prosecutor Ouchie.
Perhaps some praise is due, young yokel student.
What?
I had imagined there would be no need for me to submit this evidence. But you've brought this on yourself.
What the?
Oh, crack in the lens.
Yeah, crack in the lens.
And then, yeah, I think it's just through, like, that hole in the
Yep.
wall. Maybe.
Yep, I agree.
Also, she looks like Maya.
She does, kinda. Could a more damning... Oh, I think that's you.
Shot exists. Oh, the cruelty in the air on that beach is almost palpable.
That was the shot where she's removing
But
the
she's
fucking
just,
blade,
when she's
isn't
removing
it?
That doesn't really contradict anything. This evidence, more than any other, reveals the true extent of the accused's murderous nature. For it shows the precise moment that Mbami-san plunged her dagger in a victim's back. But also, why would she just be lying on the ground anyway?
Yeah.
No, that's not true. No.
I don't believe it. Ah! Yeah, Jesus. Come on!
Order! 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 Counsel for the defense, was it you who was responsible for that shrill scream that just pierced my courtroom?
Perhaps his voice has yet to break. These yokels are slow of mind and slow to mature.
Jesus. I'll show you who's slow to mature.
Careful now, Susato is starting to show her face here.
It is often said that a picture is worth 1,000 words, and here we have ample proof. The court will accept this extremely cogent photographic print as evidence.
Fuck. I can't believe he's had a photograph like this up to his sleeve the entire time. Such a stark image. I'm genuinely lost for words.
Wait a minute, I don't understand. How did you... I mean, who took that photograph?
Ray.
That's of no importance here. Stop trying to divert attention. Oh.
That's an absurd thing to say. It's crucially important. Whoever took this photographic print was a witness to Miss Brett's death. The court must be allowed to hear this person's testimony.
Ah!
I will uphold the defense's demand. The prosecution will reveal the identity of the person responsible for taking this photograph at once.
I wonder if it's gonna be the guy that's like been behind Soseki.
Oh gosh, that would be weird.
The reporter. Yeah, well, I'm afraid I can't do that.
Pardon?
You see, this print arrived at the Imperial Police Bureau headquarters by express post yesterday, but there was nothing to indicate the sender's name or address. The provenance of the print is unknown.
Oh, but it's the same crack as the one in the picture, so whoever took the picture from the newspaper.
Goodness!
Are we to understand then, counsel, that in full knowledge of the fact that this photograph has the murkiest of origins, you nonetheless believe it to be fit for submission of evidence in the Supreme Court?
When you first produced that print before, because you knew that it wasn't completely reliable evidence, didn't you? Yeah, they could have just made that with AI or something. Silence, you yokel student in black. Yeah, right? And just
Clearly, this isn't the moment. Clearly, this isn't the moment the knife was plunged into the victim's back, but
the moment it was withdrawn. Don't waste this court's time with your ramblings.
Indeed, without knowledge of who produced this print, we have no means of verifying the claim. And the scene it captures is without a doubt the most compelling evidence presented to the court. It doesn't matter that we don't know what point it is, it's still important, though. The defense is unable to shed any
Susato, this is ouchie. If what you've established so far is true, then there can be no doubt. This photograph shows the moment that Ray withdrew the blade from the victim.
prove that somehow.
Haha. You'll have plenty of time to rue your defeat on the slow train back to the provinces. And to rue the day you came up against Takatsuchi Ouchi in a court of law.
If I can't determine who took this photograph, then the trial is going to come to an end. There must be Susato, we got you.
Well, counsel?
Your Excellency, the burning question is who took that photograph. And the truth is, I have the answer! Ergo and I are smart, we know. This isn't about whether I can or can't come up with the answer now. I simply have to. The identity of the person who took this dramatic photographic print is, I assure you, something the defense can and will reveal.
But as you so boldly claim that you can, please do enlighten us.
Unfortunately, the defense has a piece of evidence that reveals the important details about the photographer's identity.
What?
Show proof to the court. Which piece of evidence do you claim reveals something about the identity of the mystery photograph?
Newspaper.
Yeah, baby! What is that? The newspaper again? August, England, returnees tell all.
It's not the headline that's relevant here. that there are some white lines on the right-hand side.
Ah, yes, indeed. They had really caught my eye, as it seems.
Ha! What of it? A shadow of some kind, presumably, from the branches of a tree or the like. There are no trees growing inside my laboratory at the university, I can assure you.
Now, if you look closely at this photograph, every time it makes me laugh. Because of this.
Look at how short her bathing suit is! How inappropriate!
Yes, exactly. The same patterns of lines is present on this photograph too.
Well, that tells us nothing. Ha! Yes, it's a shadow of some kind, definitely, from the branches of a tree.
There wouldn't be any trees growing inside a hut at the beach, Council.
Meh.
What's quite remarkable about it is that the two patterns are absolutely identical. How could such an extraordinary similarity have transpired?
Lens crack.
Right. The curious matching pattern that appears on both photographic print is a result of...
Camera defect. Some tree branches.
Obviously. It must be due to a problem with the camera used to take the photographs.
With the photographic device? Yes, we can confidently say that the camera's lens must be scratched. That the scratched lens causes unwanted lines to appear on every print taken with the device.
In short, the two photographs under consideration here were taken with the same camera.
But there must be hundreds of such camera devices here in the capital. It would be utterly impossible to identify the owner of this particular one.
I think you're forgetting, Prosecutor Ouchie, that one of the photographs featured in a newspaper article.
A newspaper?
That's right. The author of that article is the mystery witness to this crime.
What? What?
I don't know what word that was, but I know who said it because I saw the walkthrough.
I see why you were called a ruckus England returnee.
What are you yelling about? You've already testified. It's memo, I tell you. Many memo. Memo.
Oh, so Seki-san, what was that about? What was that? Did you say many
memo?
Many memo.
Ever since I returned to Japan, a reporter from the Shoyu News has been hounding me, following my every move.
He thinks I'm so sexy.
A reporter by the name of Raiten Many Memo. Yes, hounding me from dawn till dusk.
Now that he mentions it.
Yeah, are they...
Oh, is that him? Could that same reporter be...
Did he not notice that he was behind him? The camera to the left of him, a notebook to the right. There I am, stuck in the middle with Raiten Many Memo. Oh my god, they just made a fucking reference to the Malcolm in the Middle theme song? Because he said, yeah, because it's clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right, stuck in the middle with you.
Oh my god.
And he just said, yeah, camera to the left of him, notebook to the right.
That's hilarious.
There I am, stuck in the middle with Raiten Many Memo.
Holy shit. That's great. Good job, translators, localizers. Good job, everybody.
So you're saying that this picture was taken by...
Malcolm in the Middle? By Many Memo, yes. My lord, your excellency, Esquire.
Officer! Sorry, Grezy was in the middle of a yawn. Find this newspaper reporter at once and bring him to my courtroom.
I mean, he's here already, right?
We will adjourn for a short recess in the meantime.
Yes, Your Excellency.
Alright, that'll be good time to stop. As you say, Your Excellency.
And one more thing. I want this knife, the murder weapon, examined for traces of poison. You will solicit the assistance of the Imperial University's medical department for the task. Understood?
Okay. Meh. Many memo.
Many memo!
You know, I was so busy at work, I had many memos.
Oh my god.
Alright,
We made it.
let us save.
We finished the first part. And next time we return,
Yes.
we will finish the tutorial level. That was good. I like that so far.
Yeah. Alright. Well.
But you know what I also like doing? I also like rating people.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should do that. Let's see. Who is online?
There's Arlo.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Let's see. Arlo, eBay. I think it's been a minute since we rated Arlo. What is Arlo playing?
International Space.
Ooh.
Make sure it's muted. Okay.
There's a banana.
International Space Banana.
Hell yeah. Everybody, let's go and see Space Banana.
Alright.
All right.
Go ahead.
So,
Type /raid.
yeah.
You have the keyboard closer. And then ARLO underscore
Oh, underscore. Yeah, I couldn't remember if there was.
Gator.
There you go. But yes, thank you all for joining us for this introduction back into Great Ace Attorney. We're happy to be doing the sequel, so thank you so much for joining us, and I hope that you can send many great returns and energies to Arlo Gator with their intergalactic space banana looking game.
Yes.
So until we meet next time, thank you and mwah, bye!